Thanks a lot. I'm here with Emmanuel Sanders. And Emmanuel, all the players just rave about Joe DeCamillis as a person, as a coach for the special teams. But what do you expect for him as a head coach today?
Energy, energy, energy. He's going to bring the energy. That's what he does. Obviously, Coob's at home right now. We wish him a safe recovery. But Joe D, he's going to bring the energy, man. And looking forward to it. And hopefully at the end of this game, we'll have a win.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much and good luck.
You're welcome, Tracy.
Jim, back to you.
Thanks, Tracy. Again, Thursday Night Football presented by Bud Light. And if you're going to change things in San Diego, it's got to start in the division. And won in their last 10 matchups in the AFC West.
Yeah, you know, they got to do that. And you know what's good about this game, too, they got to do it on offense also. That's the strong point of their team. So we're going to see the strong point of San Diego with their offense against Denver's, no doubt, their strong point, their defense.
All right, the Next Gen Stats brought to you by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advance, the Next Gen Network. Spectacular evening here in Southern California.
Is that where we are? Because all I see is Denver Bronco fans in the stands. I wasn't sure I wasn't in Denver.
There's a lot of orange.
There is a lot of orange out there.
A little orange hue mixed in with some powder blue skies as we got the color rush uniforms tonight, Phil.
All right. I'm not going to complain about them either. You know why?
You can tell the numbers.
I can see the numbers.
You can see them from here.
All right.
All right. Excited about this one. Broncos won the coin toss and elected to kick. They defer.
Well, we're excited. You know, we didn't find a San Diego team that was all in depression about being 1-4. They understand the situation. They had a great attitude this week. I'll be surprised if they don't play very well.
Here's McManus to kick it all the way through and to the back of the end zone, and a knee taken by Griff Whalen. Let's bring out Phillip Rivers, who needs 125 yards to pass Dan Fouts for the top figure all time in Charger history. 3 straight games over 300 yards. Had another monster performance at Oakland last Sunday. 359 and 4 touchdowns, but still not enough as the Chargers botched it at the end. And what was an attempt to tie the game in the late stages. Botched hold on a field goal that could have tied it from 36. Trying to put all that behind him, behind his leadership and optimism that they can turn it around tonight against Denver.
Dan Fouts was the head man in charge, and so is Phillip Rivers. They have a lot in common.
So he spreads it out for the first snap, and ball is dropped at the 30-yard line by longtime reliable cohort Antonio Gates.
A lot of personnel changes for this offense for the San Diego Chargers. They 3 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. Gates wide open, drops it. And the big thing, what does San Diego want to avoid tonight? The first thing on everybody's mind when they play the Denver Broncos, don't let Von Miller wreck the game. So do whatever you got to do to make sure number 58, when in doubt, double teaming.
There's Miller standing up on the near side. He has sacked Rivers 11 times in 10 career games. Here's a second down throw. It's good for about 8 to Travis Benjamin. Free agent signee by way of Cleveland in the offseason. He's been a good acquisition for them.
Yes, he's been an excellent acquisition, and they're spreading them out, so it's made Denver the first 2 plays be a little passive and sit back just to get a feel for what's going on.
Well, what's going on here? 6 defensive backs brought in for Denver. Gordon is the running back. He's off to a hot start finding the end zone this season. Every game so far. Although he's had fumble issues here the last couple of weeks. Here's a 3rd and 2. Rivers, open man, first down at the 39, and Gates holds on to it for a gain of 6.
Well, what they do, so many formations. To the right side, you can see Antonio Gates. There's 3 receivers stacked over there, so it makes it really hard for a defensive back to get up there tight because you're worried about the other wide receivers and your own players. So Darian Stewart had to get ground. Easy throw for Phillip Rivers.
Now, the Broncos coming off their first loss of the season. Came at home on Sunday. Atlanta came in and beat them by a touchdown. And that defense gave up the most yardage it had in the first 5 games. First down handle now. Gordon with early contact, able to spin out of the first hit and pick up 3. You try to quantify injuries, you got to go to the graphics here. These are just a few of them, actually, from Keenan Allen to Stevie Johnson. The defense has been hit hard. Danny Woodhead. There are others like Jeff Cumberland, who they had some big plans in for a tight end, out for the season. Backup running back Brandon Oliver, who could have been a good third down back, especially now that Woodhead's out for the year. Second down and 7. And Rivers. Over the shoulder catch. A beautiful grab by Williams. Tyrell Williams with an 18-yard grab.
Well, when you're going to get up there, you're going to play tight man-to-man. Here it comes right here. Tyrell Williams to the outside. Got all that room and sideline. That's Aqib Talib on him. Boy, Tyrell Williams. Even Aqib Talib last night talking about him going, he is big and he can really run. Keenan Allen, they miss him, the wide receiver, but what it's done is let a guy like Tyrell Williams come in there and blossom.
Yeah, he is fast emerging. And here's a first down run again for Gordon. 2 this time before Billy Wynn ends it. All right, on that sideline, what a night it's got to be for Joe DeCamillis. Son-in-law of Dan Reeves, longtime special teams coordinator in this league. Liked by everybody around the NFL, and he got the call here. Didn't go to Wade Phillips, you know, who has done this before, as of course as a head coach, interim a couple of times. They didn't want to disrupt what they were doing with their offensive and defensive units. So Joe D, as they call him.
Well, he called his father-in-law Dan Reeves and asked for a bit of advice, and Dan Reeves' advice was what?
Be yourself.
Be yourself out there, big guy. That's pretty good.
2nd and 8. Rivers to Benjamin. And almost caught it. Roby had a hand in there.
Well, we talked about Phillip Rivers right in the start of the game. One of the big keys is you just got to make a lot of terrific throws, because look at the coverage that time. Even Aqib Talib, when he gave up the completion to Williams, was all over the receiver. Roby, Chris Harris, Aqib Talib. There is no doubt, as a trio, as a twosome, whatever you want to say, it's the best in the NFL.
Yeah, it is an awesome part of this Denver defense that they're going to be throwing at right now on 3rd and 8. What a breakup by Bradley Roby. On the outer edges of field goal territory, Rivers gets the first down. Back to Gates, a second time they've hooked up on 3rd down to move the chains.
Yeah, Jim, you know what they're doing. You want to get Antonio Gates, the matchup. TJ Ward against Antonio Gates inside. He could go inside, outside, and Antonio Gates, good veteran. What do? You use that big body and push off if you have to. And it was seen it twice, 3rd downs, trying to find the best matchup on the field. That probably will be tight ends against safeties and linebackers tonight.
Now at the Broncos 28. 3rd straight time they go to Gordon on 1st down. And we see our first penalty marker of the evening. After a rush of about 3, Greg Rolstad and his crew.
Illegal shift. Offense, number 15, never got set. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay. 1st down.
So Inman was not ready. They'll back up the Chargers 5 and be the first to know your team's news with the CBS Sports app. Instant updates, expert analysis, highlights, and more. Download the CBS Sports app today.
Now, you know, one thing that got Phillip Rivers excited this week, this offensive line, it's healthy. This is their best 5 out there tonight, so that gives you some confidence. The one thing, I know NFL players are big, but when you look at their offensive line, it does not lack size. So they can withstand sometimes big defensive players that like to push the offensive lineman back.
1st and 15, and McCluster comes in, makes the catch, and they got a flag out as they picked up a big chunk right there, but we'll check the penalty. McCluster signed just after they lost Danny Woodhead for the season.
Pass interference. Offense, number 86. That's a 10-yard penalty. Replay. 1st down.
Takes away the 20-yard gain. Hunter Henry, the rookie, flagged for it.
Well, they took a play out of Atlanta Falcons playbook. They used Hunter Henry to go up the field. They motioned the running back. Here comes the penalty. Well, that's a pick. He immediately just ran right into Brandon Marshall. Didn't even try to avoid him. He didn't have to hit him because he was already in position where the running back was going to beat him out of the backfield and get him the open space to catch the football.
So another penalty takes him all the way back to the 43 and a 1st and 25. Straight drop across the middle, open. It's Inman, and he's dragged down from behind by Harris. But they got some of it back. 11 on the play.
Big completion. They want to, of course, get in field goal range, so that's what you want to do. And Wade Phillips, very alert. You know, listen, as long as he's coached, he doesn't want him to get in field goal position, so he played tight man-to-man.
Chris Harris, Jr., shaken up. So we'll step aside while he gets some attention. Which can will be the winner? Vote now at NFL.com/Bud Light. As great as this defense is for the Broncos, through 5 weeks, they've allowed the most opening drive points by the opposition in the league, 24. And San Diego's had the football here for 5.5 minutes. And now snapping it at the 32 of Denver.
3 tight ends.
Open. Catch is made with a big gainer. That is Henry, who had just been flagged with the OPI, offensive pass interference. Well, he made up for it there with 27.
Well, let's look what they're doing. They're taking advantage of tight coverage, and we saw it early in the game with 2 plays. Here he comes outside, he goes across, but what's the interference that happens inside that allows him to get free? Hunter Henry. So you got to chase through the mess. Really well designed. And that's, we talked about it, complex offense. They do everything. All the concepts, they throw deep, short screens.
Chris Harris is back after sitting out 1 play. Turns for this one. 1st and goal. Gordon bounces to the outside and then falls under a whole wave of Denver defenders. Gain of 1, including T.J. Ward on the tackle. But Gordon has starred down here near the goal line. He's got 7 touchdowns through the first 5 weeks of the season.
Listen, I know he's had some fumbles, but that would not take away my will to give him the football. He looks like a big-time NFL running back. The power, the speed, he's quick. Been a little reckless with the ball, no question. But Mike McCoy knows they got to work through that and keep giving him the football.
6 rushing, 1 receiving, and 2nd and goal. End zone, and it is caught. It's Henry with the touchdown, the rookie from Arkansas.
Little fake to the outside. Boy, they are being deceptive on the offensive side. It looks like they're going to try to throw a screen to the outside. And then Henry takes off to the back of the end zone. Watch 86 in the slot. Oh, we're going to throw the underneath screen. No, we're not. He slips past the defender.
Well, it was Harris again who had to sit out a play, comes back, and he was the one who was covering Henry, or trying to. Rivers was knocked down, but he's got the touchdown.
Well, the design put him in a tough spot. He was outside, so there was nobody inside to help him out. And Ken Wisenhut, what did Philip Rivers say? Short week. We put in a full game plan in 3 days.
Clemens on the hole. Lambeau boots it through. Rivers takes him down the field. 85 yards passing, including the score. And McCoy's bunch is up a quick 7. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. K Jewelers, for 100 years, every kiss begins with K. And by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Founded in 1974, Taylor manufactures guitars in their production facility just about 20 minutes away from the stadium. And a rendition of our theme performed by Brett Barrow.
Well, you know, I'm going to go back real quick what I said. Philip Rivers says we crammed everything you can put in 3 days, and they showed a lot of it in that first drive. Had to catch Denver by surprise, some of the formations and plays.
That drive was 7 minutes, the longest drive of the year to this point for San Diego. And out onto the field comes the second-year quarterback out of Northwestern, Trevor Siemian. Missed Sunday's game against Atlanta with that shoulder sprain on his non-throwing arm, but he has been some kind of impressive. 4-0 as a starter. Some of the highlights include a 4-touchdown performance at Cincinnati.
Well, he's very poised for a person that had to take over for Peyton Manning in all 4 games, and he's a good decision maker, throws the football on time, and not afraid either.
Well, quickly finds Emmanuel Sanders. He had enough separation to pick up a quick 7. So Simeon, there was some discussion, would he be back in time or would it be Paxton Lynch? But he was told on Saturday, just 5 days ago, you're not going to play tomorrow, so why don't you go ahead and get started on their preparation for the Chargers. So Saturday night, knowing he's not going to play the next day, he watched 2 game films of the Chargers.
Let me tell you something. You need to watch some extra game film. This Chargers defense, it moves around, does a lot of things, very confusing, and they're hoping that it'll confuse a young quarterback here tonight.
2nd and 3. Anderson plowing ahead, has the first down. Bounce back, but forward progress easily enough for the first. They need to establish something on the ground tonight, Bill, because anemic numbers from the running backs and the rushing department over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, they do. You know, as we talked to Rick Dennison, who's in charge of the first 15 plays. There he is on the screen right here. But even when Gary Kubiak is on the sideline, he's in charge. He said, hey, if we can just run the ball, believe me, of course I know this, it really becomes a lot easier to sit up there and call plays.
Bosa came off the field holding his hand in pain. First down, Gary Anderson. He is met by 3 defenders for no gain. They have not rushed for 90 yards in any one of the last 3 games, and Anderson heading to the sideline for a moment. Booker's going to come in for him.
That was Jatavis Brown on the tackle coming from the backside. 28 tackles, 2 sacks by a rookie. Forced into action because Manti Te'o got hurt.
Let's see, Bosa. Here's Simeon launching it down the field, and he had him open.
Had what they wanted, but he did not have the time. That play took a lot of time to develop. And they pick up the blitz, but watch the pocket collapse. Kyle Manuel gets in there. Simeon not quite on balance. Have to give it that little extra oomph when you feel pressure. Oh my gosh, he caught Craig Mager looking back. What a route by Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders was able to get a good 3 steps on him, but Bosa anguished. Hurt on that 3rd play.
We're trying to pull a finger back. Maybe that could be one of the reasons. I hate to, not going to guess on injuries, but
3rd and 10. Simeon underneath. That's Norwood, and he fought for it, but comes up a yard shy. It's his right hand for Bosa, the 3rd overall pick in the draft. Watch. This is where he got hurt. Watch his right hand. It gets sideways at one point, and he immediately headed to the sideline.
Good defense, good rally to the football by the Chargers to get off the field.
Riley Dixon boots it. Travis Benjamin not going to touch it. Broncos are there to cover it up at the 1. Webster, as he's done so many times before, outstanding on punt coverage and downing the football. Did this in the playoffs last year. Look, he reestablishes himself.
Great job. Looking for it. What a job by Webster.
Watch this. Webster first touched the football about the 7 or 8 yard line. So even though he was able to get back, reestablish, and down it here, they'll mark it where the ball was first touched.
Right.
Kayvon Webster. Snap coming from the 6.
3 tight ends.
And Gordon meets Jared Crick right away, along with Derek Wolfe. Matt LeBlanc returns to television as the man with a plan. Don't miss the new comedy premiering Monday, October 24th, right here on CBS.
Well, let me just talk a little bit about this Broncos defense. What's it about? It's about being one-on-one. So they love to blitz 5 guys against your 5 linemen, and that makes sure then it puts all the defensive backs one-on-one, and both of them can help the other. They can cover well enough to help the defensive line get there, and also vice versa. Defensive line can get there to help the DBs.
After the spread, it looked like Denver may have jumped early. The ball comes out of his hand, and
offsides
ruled incomplete.
It's one of those plays they should have tried to blow dead before he could make the hit.
Offside. Defense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, it's too early in the game for Vaughn to make a sack that really counts. You know, he waits till the game's on the line, and he makes the play. Up top of your screen, you're talking about a finisher.
Got a couple of hits on Rivers now on the touchdown throw and on this one.
Well, that was the first key. Don't let him wreck the game. So those formations, you got to try to find where he is and make sure you can at least help out the tackle. Joe Barksdale this time.
2nd and 2. That's Gordon fighting off the first contact by Ward and able to plow ahead for the first down.
Great job making him miss.
Well, they've put together a 7-minute drive on the game's first possession. And now they start in a pinch here on this one. At least able to get out of that jam with a new set of downs at the 17.
Well, you know, Jim, just when you talk about it, when I was watching them getting ready for this game, I was like, wow, you know, and you and I were talking about it, and I said to Ken Wisenhunt, man, looks like you're doing everything. And he goes, oh, we are. And why can he do it? Because he has Phillip Rivers as his quarterback.
First down throw, dump it off. This is Watt. The fullback tumbles for a gain of 8. T.J. Ward got him going up in the air.
You know who you're going against. You know they have pass rushers. Rivers a very quick decision maker. And if they're going to play zone, don't hesitate. Throw it short. That's what he did that time to Watt.
J.J.'s little brother getting into the action there for an 8-yard gain. All that stuff you were talking about with the Wisenhunt. This is the first team ever in NFL history to start 1-4 and average over 30 points a game. 2nd and 2. And they've got another first down with Gordon.
Well, one of the first things I did ask Coach Ken Wisenhunt, the offensive coordinator, I said, okay, you've been gone for 2 years. You know how it is when you don't see somebody for a while, you can see the change. How about Phillip Rivers? Have you seen a change in him? He goes, nope, he's as good as ever, maybe better. And hey, look, you talked about the numbers Phillip Rivers put up, and being in the league so long, so experienced, it's unlimited what they can try and do on the offensive side.
Wisenhunt, formerly the coordinator here, then left, took the head coaching job at Tennessee. Was dismissed after a very short stint there, and San Diego welcomed him back. And we've got timeout on the San Diego side. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Fitbit. Find yours at Fitbit.com and by Walmart. Save money, live better. Chargers took a timeout. They've got a first down coming up as they continue to move the chains down the field the first time for a touchdown. 16 plays to 5. And Rivers with a hot hand early. He's within 32 yards now of establishing the new mark for most passing yards in franchise history.
Back them off into a 2-deep zone. You see the safeties way back. Why? Because they went to this 5-wide receiver look.
And Rivers middle of the field, and again, right on the money. It's back to Hunter Henry for a big gain out across the 45.
Well, I was wrong. It's going to be a little out and up. So they went ahead and played man coverage with 2 guys back there, but Hunter Henry, what'd you say to me? Hey, he might be the real deal. I don't know if there's any might anymore about Hunter Henry, what I've seen so far this year.
How about tonight? 3 catches, 52 yards, and the touchdown.
What about him and Gates out on the football field at the same time? What do you do?
First down, Chargers. Gordon says hello to Shaq Barrett. And is dropped for a loss of a couple. Saturday, the Home Depot SEC. The best game from the best conference. You got number 1 Alabama, number 9 Tennessee. All beginning with college football today at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Bama, Tennessee on CBS.
Be a good game. And we're going to be home to watch it, right?
No question. That
We're at
weekend at home.
There you go.
Hallelujah. Second and 12. Gordon again looked like he might suffer a loss, but able to turn it into a gain of about 5 or 6.
Yeah, good job. You know, really good job. They're just going to not just get into that passing mode. That's what you want to stay away from when you play the Broncos. So when you go out there, King Dunlap, watch big number 77, stays with the block, just keeps fighting. And then Gordon, talked about him. I think he can be a really big-time NFL running back and have great success. Keep this line healthy.
3rd and 5 from the Denver side of the field.
And the formation to his left, a bunch, all bunched up.
Rivers completes it. That's Benjamin. First down at the 42.
Well, they got you thinking when you get in these formations and it's really tight, the defensive back's going, oh, if there's 3 guys together, then they're going to go across the field, the outside receiver. But no, Travis Benjamin just goes quick to the outside. You would not expect that with that formation, and that's Phillip Rivers to it right on the money.
Maybe one more snap. I think Rivers is going to let it go. San Diego always seems to play Denver tough. They're off to a great start here. The Chargers up 7-0. You're watching. Quarter about to commence here in San Diego. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, Jay Feely. 9 first downs in that opening quarter for Rivers and company. 1 for Denver. Rivers just 6 yards away from the Fouts team record in passing yardage. Going to run it here with Gordon for a couple. He's got 9 attempts for 20 so far, but Rivers in that first quarter threw for 119.
Good balance. Sylvester Williams in there, couldn't move him, but just make the defense, keep them off balance, make them play the run, slow the game down, everything you want. Picking up 3rd downs is what you have to do against the Denver defense.
This is a drive that began back at the San Diego 6. 3 tight ends come in for 2nd and 8. Here's Rivers, play action. Here they come after him. He throws it. He's got it. He's got the record. And it is Hunter Henry, who has a big souvenir in his hands. Wolf on the tackle.
Well, the old trick. Watch, Hunter Henry is going to block, and then he's going to take off. Oh, he's blocking. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember. But a while ago, and I said, oh, the little trick. Block and release. Good job by the Chargers on that play.
They took the ball to the sideline. A special keepsake for later on. They're not going to stop the momentum of this drive right now. There's a handoff on first down. And again, quick contact by Sylvester Williams. The record in this franchise, well, it belonged to Jack Kemp for a while, and then broken and held for a while by old number 21, John Hadel. And then Fouts broke it. Fouts broke it actually on the last game of the 1982 season, broke Hadel's mark, and that record held up for 34 years until tonight.
Well, they have a lot in common, you ask me. Both gunslingers, both are tough, high-energy players, demand a lot of their teammates.
2nd and 11. Sideline knockdown. Well, last week, speaking of records, Fouts moved into, Rivers moved into the top 10 all-time pass touchdowns in NFL history. And he moved past Johnny Unitas and Warren Moon. The Unitas thing meant a lot to him and to his family.
Right.
His father let him know on a phone call this week that Philip's grandfather, who he never got to know, passed away before Philip was born, was a huge Johnny Unitas fan. He says, that's one of the best records you could ever have, son.
Yeah, it made Phillip Rivers got emotional just trying to talk about it.
He's got a 3rd and 11. That's McCluster. And he's within about a foot of the first. Decision time coming up here for McCoy.
Great job by Phillip Rivers. McCluster was going to double team the outside pass rusher. He releases out into the pass, and Rivers, they're going to go quick. I'm going to say, were they going to go for it here? They're going to measure. Good job. Ask for a measurement so you have time to think about it. But that time Rivers dropped it down with a little sidearm, which he is great at. You know, his arm shows no weakness from when he was young. He keeps to put it in golf terms, Jim, he keeps his arm in such a great angle that he can throw off balance, throw sidearm, overhand, whatever you want. Off his back foot. I think they got to go for it here.
Yeah, it's just a foot. We're inside of it.
Just a foot, though. You know, I always your decision making. I understand they're going to do it. I would too if I was a coach. If it was a yard, I would not, of course. Not against Denver's defense.
Of course, they had the situation in Oakland last Sunday where they needed a yard, and it turns out that there had been a mismarking of the football that it cost them a yard.
Yeah.
Could have completely changed
the decision making at the end.
Yep.
Instead of going for the field goal, they might have went for it on 4th down. Try to win the game.
Gordon, the running back. Watt, the fullback. They're in. McGrath and Henry, the tight ends. Straight ahead. Denver's defense crashes across as Von Miller with the first to hit the ball carrier.
Von Miller so fast, gets inside, goes slow, and grabs the ball carrier, Gordon, and pulls him down. That was, you only think about pass rushing when you talk about Von Miller, but the cutoff block.
First down. They were about to bring out the chains from the far side, but Rolstad signals, move them 10, new set of downs.
Get a good spot. Let's watch Von Miller. Oh, he goes right inside Hunter Henry. It's so quick. Man, that's what they call getting up. Just time to snap perfectly, tried to make a play to maybe change this game around.
Again, 11 first downs for the Chargers versus 1. And throws it in the area of Gordon as Shaq Barrett was in the backfield quickly. Let's take a look at Next Gen Stats presented by Verizon.
Well, Von Miller, how quick can he get to the quarterback? 3rd fastest in the league, 3.19 seconds. It's not the fact that he gets there, it's when he does it. They've played 3 games this year. This is one of them. Indianapolis, game on the line. Sack, fumble, touchdown for the Broncos. Also did it against Carolina, against the Cincinnati Bengals, put the game out. They just ran a trick play, the Chargers did, and Brandon Marshall saw it, smelled it out, stopped the touchdown.
2nd and 10. And incomplete, intended for Hunter Henry. You may have seen it, but they just had finished their longest drive of the season. The first time they had it, 7 minutes, all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. This drive now, stopping on the incompletion, 9 minutes and 39 seconds with this drive.
This is as calm as I've ever seen Phillip Rivers on the field, right? You know, because you watch it, he's always back there. He's making signals. I mean, he makes me nervous watching him as a fan, even when I'm home. But tonight, the pace, this is what they want to do.
This is actually the longest drive in the entire league this year. 3rd and 10, needing to get inside the 9 for a first. Rivers, heavy pressure, comes out of the pack. Now steps out of bounds and gets shoved by Miller, but no flag. We can bring the field goal unit out. Jay Feely has something to add to that. Jay?
Well, Jim, holder Drew Kaiser dropped a would-be game-time field goal against Oakland. Mike McCoy decided to make a change at the holder. Brought in backup quarterback Kellen Clemens. He's done that before. He did it for me when he was with the Jets. I talked to him before the game. He said, I've been practicing all year. I had a feeling since training camp that I was going to be in this situation. He looked good in warm-ups.
Well, you know, just to talk to Jay, I wondered if he'd wear a glove. Kellen Clemens has a glove on that right hand.
37 yards, and Lambo drives it through. 10 minutes and 3 seconds on that possession. 10-0 San Diego. All right, the Broncos ready to snap it for the 6th time. That's all in this game. It's Anderson. And he's just got a couple. Tracy, down to you.
Jim, a lot of concern and well wishes for head coach Gary Kubiak. The Denver Broncos tweeting out a message from him. I'm feeling much better and I'm thankful for everyone's thoughts and well wishes. He is home, guys, watching from his house in Colorado. He will return to work on Monday. Of course, we wish him a speedy recovery as well.
Absolutely. And there is the interim coach, Joe DeCamillis. We all wish Gary Kubiak, as it was told to us by Mike McCoy, he's a great coach, but even a better human being. 2nd and 8. Simeon with that throw across the field to Norwood for only 3. 3rd down coming up. Joey Bosa is out here for the Chargers after that injury on his right hand.
Yep, still checking it out. You saw him grabbing it. They taped it up. He's got the glove tape, part of the fingers taped under. Well, you can't touch the fingers underneath it, but Joey Bosa, the 2 sacks last week, but I thought what he did best was stop the run. He was great at making sure nobody got outside of him on any runs by the Raiders last week.
His first 2 sacks in college were of Trevor Simeon back in 2013. Here's Simeon on 3rd down, picks up the 1st, and that's the 3rd time he's thrown it to Jordan Norwood, this time for 9.
Boy, you just talked about him earlier, same concept. 3 receivers together. Now you just try to switch off. Mager can't get there quick enough. And Trevor Simeon, the one thing that we noticed in the 4 games is we watched Joey Bosa to the outside. Boy.
That's Donald Stevenson taking care of Bosa on that one.
Their offensive line back together too helps them.
Devontae Booker is the running back on 1st down. And the rookie from Utah has 3. Mebane on the tackle. It's Man versus Millennial in the new comedy coming to CBS 2 weeks from tonight. Joel McHale stars in The Great Indoors. It premieres Thursday, October 27th, only CBS.
Well, Denver trying to stick to their game plan, wanting to be aggressive and run the football. You know, me, I would have been a little impatient and said, oh, we got to come out and throw this ball. Chargers struggled against the pass so far this year.
Here's Simeon's throw, and trying to dive for it was Emmanuel Sanders, looking around for a flag that does not exist. Bosa, by the way, was disruptive in the backfield.
99. Little gain. They run a lot of these on the defensive side. A gain means where they switch positions as they're going up the field. Bosa gets the hit. Sanders was open. Simeon needed about a half a second more to make that throw.
Simeon got hit on that left shoulder where he has the AC joint sprain on the left shoulder. Fell on his right side. He's got 3rd and 7. Simeon's pass over the head of Demaryius Thomas, targeted for the 1st time.
Yep, had what he wanted. One-on-one coverage, Demaryius Thomas. And the one thing I have noticed, Craig Mager on the coverage in the slot, you can go in, out, tough spot to be in. But when Simeon misses, it does get away from him and go high.
And McCoy and Thomas exchanged a little slap, playful, friendly slap at one another. McCoy used to be Thomas's offensive coordinator in Denver. They're good pals. Benjamin. He may have touched it. It is picked up and taken into the end zone by Parks. They signaled San Diego football. Benjamin at first was waving everybody, get away from the football.
Well, let's see if he touched it.
The ruling on the field was the ball was not touched by San Diego. It was recovered by Denver. It'll be 1st down and 10, San Diego. Timeout.
Wow. Is that the case?
Oh, it hit him, I think. Hit his leg.
It hit his hand, too.
That was a quick look, but it looked like it hit his leg.
NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com. State Farm, talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. and by Ford F-Series, the official truck of the NFL. Sun setting here in San Diego, and it'll be a little disappointment here.
Yep.
As this is going to definitely be overturned. It's going to be a winning challenge.
Right leg definitely hits it.
Muff rule is going to be in effect. Ball was picked up by Will Parks, the rookie out of Arizona, but they'll be marking the football right at the point where the ball was touched and recovered. But Benjamin, I don't understand. He had that costly fumble in the New Orleans game in the last couple of minutes as the Saints stormed back from 13 down. And
well, you said it. He was waving everybody away.
After reviewing the play, the ball did indeed touch the San Diego player in the ankle. The ball was recovered legally by Denver at the 11-yard line. They cannot advance a kick. It'll be Denver's ball, 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Not be charged with a timeout. Timer, please put 7:51 on the game clock.
McCoy can only shake his head as Benjamin was wavering, changing his mind, and Joe DeCamillis has won his first challenge.
There you go. Yes.
Of course, longtime special teams aficionado, and gets a break here on special teams, taking over at the 11. It's Anderson. Taken back 4 yards. Denzel Perryman busting across, and it's a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, Perryman back in the lineup, and what does he bring? Boy, he is an explosive player, number 52. Coming from the inside, doesn't get fooled, waits, doesn't go chasing out of control to his left, redirects, goes to his right, and that's what he's there for too.
Jatavis Brown was up there too.
Plays, yes.
Yep. Mager as well. 2nd and 14.
Two very fast linebackers, the two of them.
Here's Simeon to Thomas, and he is walloped after the catch by Melvin Ingram.
Mixing it up. That's what they're doing. That time only 3 rushers. So Ingram sits back in zone coverage, watches the quarterback, and look out.
Ooh. Somehow held on to it. Thomas, who's had 6 touchdown catches in the last 4 visits to this stadium. That was his first catch of the night. 3rd and 11. Time for Simeon. Now they're after him. And it's Bosa who brings him down from behind.
Couple things. Bosa kept his ground to the outside, but they rotated the last second. What's the defense? Oh, it's not going to be man-to-man. And that fooled Trevor Simeon, so that's why he had to pull the football down. And Joey Bosa, his best move is inside, I think. What a reaction by Bosa. Spinning and getting out of it, making the tackle.
Brings out McManus. 29-yard field goal attempt. He's 10 out of 11 on the year. Had that magnificent postseason run where he hit all 10 of his field goal attempts. And dead center for the Broncos' first points. Coming off the turnover committed by Benjamin. 10-3 ball game. Chargers in front. McManus. By design, short kick to Griff Whalen. Well covered up. Helmets come off. That's Latimer losing his helmet. Denver defense comes out here. Can it find a way to slow down the Chargers, who have 160 yards and 2 drives? Of course, the ongoing story, Brandon Marshall kneeling during the anthem. And some of the Chargers standing with fist in the air, including Joshua Perry, a linebacker, and 3 members of the offensive line.
Well, also part of the story has been this offensive line of the Chargers and the deception they have used to keep this Denver defense on the field.
Gordon, look at Miller, wrap him up for no gain. Okay, the Bronco can has taken the lead. Vote now, NFL.com/Bud Light. Is this Denver defense as good as the one we saw at Levi Stadium February the 7th? But does that have the potential by the end of the year to be that dominant?
Yes, well, to be quite as dominant. Look, they are missing Malik Jackson, who was a great presence and could stop the run and rush the passer. But hey, this game doesn't change my opinion. It's still one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL.
2nd and 10. There's a strike with Ward bringing down Hunter Henry right away. Henry becoming a fantasy football star here tonight. 5 catches, 68 yards, and a touch.
Yeah, I started him on all my teams.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
All those leagues you're in.
Yeah, all those leagues. But you know, it doesn't matter. I thought we would even see more of this because you're getting safeties and linebackers covering Henry and Gates.
There's McCluster coming into the game and catching up on the signal call here, the play call. And the throw was to Benjamin, but Talib finishes off that drive. 3 and out for San Diego.
Yeah, on the outside, watch Aqib Talib, number 21, just come up. He stays back and reads the 3-man grouping. A little change and really well done. That way, Aqib Talib wasn't going to get picked by his own player or one of the Charger players.
Drew Kaiser into punt. He's had 2 punts he won back this year, a 16 and a 17-yarder, but this is one he's going to like. Driving back the returner all the way to the 11, Norwood. Slips out of a tackle, but a whole host of Chargers won't let him get past the 16. That was a 60-yard boomer brought down by Corey Toomer. And the Broncos come out trailing by 7. NFL Thursday Night Football, sponsored by Subway. Try the new thick-cut autumn carved turkey sandwich. And by AARP Real Possibilities. Congrats to the Chargers Coach of the Week, Rick Jackson of Madison High School in San Diego. This past week, the Warhawks defeated previously unbeaten St. Augustine on the road. Broncos on the road where they have feasted inside the division for years. And dropping back, looking long, and now looking for options. Simeon just throws it away. Well, next Thursday, your weekend will start here again. The Bears and the Packers. Prime time in Green Bay. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network.
Well,
Chicago, Green Bay, Bears have won 2 of the last 3. Played at Lambeau Field.
a lot of different looks by this defense. Talked about it early. It's very versatile, especially in the front 7. 3-man rush, 4-man rush.
2nd and 10. Incomplete. Was going for Benny Fowler. Now more on that Broncos success in the division. It's an all-time record in the league for winning division games on the road. 15 consecutive. It goes back to 2010. Meanwhile, the Chargers just overall in the AFC West have lost 10 consecutive matchups, including already this year to Kansas City and Oakland.
Right. Well, what they got to find out to do here, they got to find a way to get somebody open and give the quarterback time. Haven't heard from Demaryius Thomas yet.
3rd and 10. It's Anderson. And they stop him 1.5 yards short of a first. And they'll punt it. The Broncos so far with 47 yards of total offense. And we have 3 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah. Give this defense a lot of credit. And they are deep, too, in that front 7. So they can always they constantly can bring in different guys to stop the run, to rush the passer, and really beat up in the defensive backfield. You know, we talked about it. They're missing Jason Verrett, Brandon Flowers, 2 big-time corners. So far tonight, that has not come back to bite them.
They've changed returners. San Diego back deep is Dexter McCluster after the Benjamin mishap on the previous kick. McCluster steps up to make the grab and takes off running. Across the 40 is McCluster, and he's got it to midfield before he is dragged down by the snapper, Casey Kreider. 17-yard run back. McCluster subbing that time for Benjamin with a fine effort, and the Chargers with 2:17 to go in the half are set up at the 50.
Well, when you're playing one of the best defenses in the NFL, you got to find ways to help your players out. So you do it with formations. We saw this early in the game. And Antonio Gates, last guy out of the formation, pick up a big third down in an opening drive. Same thing ahead. To your left, you see, let's block a double team, the pass rusher, release, and get extra yards with Hunter Henry. So Ken Wisenhunt, as Phillip Rivers told us, Jim, they got every play in this week in 3 days.
And breaking a tackle, taking it to the Broncos 48 is Gordon, who they've contained. 13 carries, 23 yards. We reached a 2-minute warning. San Diego on top, 10-3. San Diego on that one drive, 10 minutes and 3 seconds that led to a field goal. That was by time the longest drive of Phillip Rivers' career.
That's incredible, really. Well, he's always in such a hurry, so that's probably why.
He's got 2 timeouts to work with at the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and 7. They go draw. Sidestepping a first hit is Gordon, and he's picked up a couple. So 3rd and about 5 on the way. And next, it's the Lexus halftime report with JB, Coach Dion. They'll have the first half highlights and analysis on the Lexus halftime report.
Well, you asked me about that Denver defense, Jim, and you can see they caught him with some, new ideas that they were not ready for in this short week. But everything is tough. The running lanes for Gordon, Phillip Rivers in these obvious passing situation. There's DeMarcus Ware on the sideline. Doesn't have much time to give those receivers a chance.
DeMarcus Ware watching, still out as Rivers 3rd down pass. Not able to hold on that jarring hit by Stuart Gates.
Stewart hits him. They got what they want once again inside, but Rivers just leads him just a hair too much as he reaches out. Then Stewart makes the hit. It's going to be easy to do it from up here by just sticking right on him. Good stand by the Broncos defense, though.
It was a very good clean hit by Stewart. 1:12 to go. Norwood standing at 10. Hazer's kick. Punter was knocked down, no flag. Fair catch at the 9 by Norwood. 37-yard punt got the job done. Sunday at 9 on NFL Network. Colin Kaepernick, how will he do in his first start come Sunday at Buffalo? NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 9 a.m. live on NFL Network. Well, Trevor Siemian, 6 out of 11 for 39 yards. The Broncos, meanwhile, have had 6 rush attempts for only 8.
Well, what will they do here? It looks like they're going to go in could be a draw. San Diego still has 2 timeouts.
Denver has all 3 of its timeouts. There's your draw, Phil. Good call. And sprinting up ahead to the 25 gives him now a chance to maybe operate. Hold on, though. Flag back at the 6.
Holding. Offense, number 76. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay. First down.
Yeah, tough one on Max Garcia. They got a double team. The block is there. That's 76. Well, he got his arm around Palapoy. I can't tell what number that was.
Just a 15 from the 5. There's another draw play. Somehow coming out of that jam.
Call your timeout. Yes, they do.
Yep.
Good job by San Diego.
1 remaining. 50 seconds to go in the quarter. Report with first half analysis and highlights. Lexus halftime report, 2nd and 12.
They run all the way.
Out to about the 13. We have a 5-yard carry there for Anderson. And now the last timeout utilized by San Diego. Coach Cowher probably enjoying this game very much. What he's seen so far, just as far as that a little lower scoring, a lot of strategy, second half, who knows?
Well, you're right. Strategy, good job here at the end.
We're coming up on the Lexus halftime report.
Yep. Coach Cowher, what are you trying to tell me that Coach Cowher really likes defense more than offense? Is
He's
that
an
what
old
you're saying?
linebacker and special teamer.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Still, and he hasn't changed since he got out of coaching.
Simeon on 3rd and 7. Yet another draw play, and down at the 18 is Booker. So 4th and 2.
Well, that was a good job by really almost by getting the penalty. It ran a few extra seconds off the clock.
They're not going to have to run another play
For the Denver Broncos, where they didn't have to chance a kick, a free kick, or a free kick after the punt.
They're all heading in, and Joe DeCamillis, what will he say to his team at halftime? First time in this situation as a head coach.
Well, I don't think there's anything that's not going to panic, that's for sure. They get the football coming out here in the second half, and they hung on. They withstood the onslaught there at the beginning of the game. They got a great break on the fumble. And
only 2 first downs in the first half for the Broncos. That's it. Tracy, down to you.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Besides the muff punt, you basically controlled this game, but how do you hold on to the lead now?
Well, we just got to keep on playing, doing what we're doing offensively. Defense is playing lights out also, so we got to keep on doing. We can't have a mistake like that to cost us some points.
Will you bring what's happened in the past up in the locker room right now?
We're going to go play. That's all. This is a new game, a new night. We got to go win this thing.
Thanks a lot. Jim?
To that point, they have the greatest margin in the league through 5 weeks in the first half. With their 7-point lead tonight, plus 57. Wow. And they're 1-4. I think you know the answer to what the margin's been in the fourth quarter.
not good.
32nd in the league. 10-3 Chargers at halftime. Lexus halftime report coming up after this message and a word from your local station.
You are watching NFL Thursday Night Football.
End zone, and it is caught. It's Henry. Here's Rivers. He throws it. He's got it. He's got the record. And it's Bosa who brings him down from behind. Well, San Diego jumps on top early with the opening drive, elapsing 7 minutes off the clock, leading to the Rivers touchdown pass, the only touchdown of the game thus far. And let's take a look at the right combination from the first half presented by State Farm. And here it is. Rivers to Henry for the touchdown. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, under 40 yards passing for the Broncos, Demarius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders combined. 2 catches, 9 yards.
Let my man go. You know, you got to let Trevor Siemian throw the ball. I know you want to run it and get that going.
Which one's your guy? Is it you're saying Siemian's your guy? Okay.
Yeah. Let him. You got to let him throw the football and get him in rhythm. Get the offensive line in rhythm. That's what you do for a quarterback. I'll be very surprised starting the second half if Denver doesn't come out throwing.
Well, they'll be receiving the kick here in just a moment to start the third quarter. Tonight's Next Gen Stats brought to you by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the Next Gen Network. I just wasn't sure if maybe Sanders or Thomas was your guy.
Well, yeah. No, you're my man.
I see.
My man.
I don't want to share that distinction with anyone else.
I will say this too, though, Jim, real quick. Let's give some credit to the defensive backs for the San Diego Chargers. They've covered well so far in this game.
Run back attempt coming for Norwood. But stopped well short of the 20. Tracy, let's hear what you have from halftime.
Well, Jim, interim head coach Joe DeCamillis with his first halftime down 10-3, and I asked him what he liked that he did decision-making wise, and he said he really liked how he got great input on the challenge. He said they needed to come away, though, with 7 points. Offensively, he just said our playmakers need to play, our bigs need to be big. One injury note, wide receiver Cody Latimer out for the game with a concussion.
Yeah, we saw him lose his helmet on that one play and failed through the concussion protocol tests. Anderson right away dropped back for A loss of 3 in that first half. The possession chart. Now the field goal coming after the muff punt by Benjamin. And other than that, slim pickings.
San Diego's one drive ate up more time than the total time Denver had the football. And Ingram off the edge, unblocked. Puts him in 2nd and long.
2nd and 12. They'll give him a loss of 2 with that carry. Anderson now 10 yards, 7 attempts. Here's Simeon to Thomas. His second catch is out to about the 21. Gain of 6. How about this? 4 coaches in the last 4 years on the Denver sideline. Del Rio, he was an interim coach that day because Coach Fox had heart surgery. John was here in 2014. Coach Cubes here last year, and now Joe DeCamillis.
Well, what they've done, San Diego puts Denver in another tough situation, just dropping back, making Trevor Siemian throw it short, and they're coming up and making tackles.
3rd and 6. And movement on the right side as Simeon's pass is incomplete, but a flag down on the far side. Thought they might stop the play.
False start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
They meant 71 because 74 is inactive tonight. Sambrilo, Stevenson, who moved early.
Well, they're doing Donald Stevenson right here, number 71. Little quick start. He did that because that was 54 Melvin Ingram on the outside. Excellent outside pass rusher.
They got Virgil Green back tonight after missing 3 weeks with a calf injury. He has not been targeted so far.
Oh, what a block.
3rd and 11, and Bosa's given chase. And it's incomplete. And there was Green targeted for the first time, but they'll have to punt. Boy, did they get to the quarterback and break up that play in a hurry, Phil.
They sure did, but just watch what they're doing is they drop back here, and they're just watching the quarterback, and Denver's going to have to find a way to get this football down the field. But Joey Bosa, again, on a little game. In other words, he was outside, came inside, flushed Simeon out, nowhere to throw the football.
Riley Dixon. McCluster had that good return right before the half. Has it at the 42. And Kayvon Webster pops him after a 42-yard punt. But good starting point coming up for the Chargers. Look at Bosa giving chase. He curled around and again broke up the play. As week 6 begins, the Raiders and the Broncos share the lead in the AFC West at 4-1. Then Kansas City at 2-2. Chargers at 1-4. And look at Gordon. Gordon's got an open field, and only Ward is back there. And he breaks through that. Down to the 5. Chris Harris saved the touchdown. A 49-yard gallop.
Just everybody chasing to the right, and that time it was just Orlando Franklin and King Dunlap just pushed their guys to the outside, and Melvin Gordon ran through a gigantic hole. And the wide receiver, nice block on the outside. Phillip Rivers realizes, hey, good start to the second half. Get this team in an uncomfortable position coming from behind.
Gordon with more yardage than the Broncos' whole team. 1st and goal. Rivers dumps it off. It's caught at the 1 is Williams. And again, Harris saves a touchdown.
Boy, Chris Harris, tight coverage. We said that you got to make tight throws to these receivers when you go against these defensive backs, just for a number. Think about all the passes that have been thrown at Chris Harris and been caught this year. He's given up 19 yards after the catch. That tells you he's always right there with the receiver.
You know, he comes out for this next snap. That run by Gordon to get him down here inside the 10, his longest career run here in his 2nd season.
Goal line defense, take Chris Harris out, bring in more big guys.
Nowhere to go this time for Gordon. That's Brandon Marshall on top of him.
It's Von Miller, though, once again, that's really doing it. Von Miller has been tremendous against the run tonight.
One of the linemen, their right tackle, Joe Barksdale, shaken up. They were running on his side, and the officials have called timeout with 3rd and goal coming up from the 2. Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by the all-new Mazda CX-9.
Well, a situation like this, Jim, defensively, you got to be ready. There's Barksdale on the sideline, but you got to be ready for some type of play that's going to get you picked, some deception.
And they spread it out.
Stacking the receivers to the right.
5 targets. 3rd and goal, and Webster got a hand on it. He was trying to connect with Griff Whalen.
Oh, he missed it. They had Griff Whalen and Dontrell Inman. Watch here. Watch Inman go to the back of the end zone. Phillip Rivers, you worry about the pass rush. You know, they stacked those receivers. That's what they wanted to do, create a little confusion, but nice pass breakup.
And the Broncos buckle down inside the 10 to force him into a short field goal attempt from 21 yards.
Ron Miller in the run game helped them get at this situation.
And Lambeau converts for the 10-point lead, all set up by Melvin Gordon's dash of 48 yards. Is there a comeback brewing? Vote now at NFL.com/Bud Light. Boy, the Charger fans, they don't want to hear about any kind of comeback on the field. They're tired of that storyline. Again, it's going to be returned by Norwood. They stopped him short of the 20 the last time. And this time to the 24. Can you imagine the ways they've lost games this season?
Nope, but you're going to tell me.
No, you were aware. The 21-point lead at Kansas City, the 13-point lead against New Orleans with a couple of minutes to go, a couple of fumbles. I mean, it's just at times inconceivable. There was a group this week that came out with the statistical probability. Pro Football Reference came out and said there were a couple of games they had a 99.9% chance of winning, 2 of them. And in all, to lose all 4 of those games, 30 million to 1. Here's Simeon.
There you go.
And that's Thomas. There's a series starter, gain of 7.
There you go. Drive starter. That's what you call it. Series starters, and that's what you got to mix it up and got to get the quarterback. And now they're going to go a little hurry up. Great idea by Rick Dennison and Greg Knapp, the quarterback coach, to do this.
2nd and 3.
You know, the San Diego defense been moving around, confusing the quarterback. This little hurry up will settle him down.
Running play for the first down. That is Booker, and that's just the 3rd first down of the game. I got to ask, with Coach Kubiak being so involved in the play calling and not being here tonight, is that anything to do with the fact that they've so far struggled to the degree of just now 3 first downs?
Well, Greg Knapp, Rick Dennison doing it. Hey, if Gary Kubiak is here, he sure wouldn't have hurt what's gone on here in the first half.
Sideline route, knocked down. Intended for Thomas. That was Hayward defending it.
But let me say this. It's always a collective effort when you talk about the San Diego offenses. We talked to Joe DeCamillis, but we talked to Rick Dennison last night. They say they all talk, and sometimes Rick Dennison makes the calls, and then every once in a while Gary Kubiak comes in and takes over. So, look, they've been together, all of them, so much and so long. They know how each other thinks. So I don't think I'm going to blame this offensive effort just on Gary Kubiak not being here.
2nd and 10. Simeon completes it to Jordan Taylor, and he fumbled. The Chargers have recovered. Taylor with his third catch of his career. Flag is tossed.
Well, just typical of what they've been doing all night. Sit back, watch the quarterback throw it short, and come up and make the tackle. And this time they knocked the football free.
And Toomer recovered it. Jordan Taylor, who was on the practice squad all of last year, practiced every day with Peyton Manning when he was out of action, trying to keep him.
The ruling on the field is a turnover and San Diego ball. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Denver, number 71. That penalty's 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Called on Stevenson. So the ruling on the field, catch, fumble. He did turn upfield. Bill, you don't see anything?
Nope, I do not.
Nope.
Looks like a catch, and again, you could see that was a tremendous job. You said it, Toomer, just watching him come across, goes up and makes the hit. We've seen a lot of big hits on these short throws here tonight.
Boy, he forced it. Watch him then slide off of Taylor and then go recover it.
Wow, what a job.
And here comes the penalty.
The old, oh man, that's, as Ben Dreith would say, as he once said, in the game I was in, he was down at the bottom of the pile giving the business, and that's what he did.
That was a lot of business right there.
That was a lot of business going on.
At the 20.
Deep pressure on the defense once again.
There's Gordon. And he's hit and chopped up by Aqib Talib. A tech billionaire is changing the world of medicine in the new drama Pure Genius, premiering Thursday, October 27th, only CBS.
Aqib Talib comes out. It's a couple times we've seen him come flying up there tonight and make tackles, and we talked to him last night. And he was been in the league a while, but in great shape.
2nd and 8. Gordon tried to get it outside, but Miller is so quick.
Von Miller, once again. Boy, if I said how many times I said that tonight, you know, because we only judge him if he's getting sacks, but he is single-handedly stopping so many runs. Watch 58 on the outside. He's had a couple where he has knocked 2 and 3 blockers just in the backfield and ruined runs single-handedly.
They brought in McCluster, and they split him as a wide receiver. His work last week for Atlanta with Tevin Coleman big time against the Broncos. 3rd and 8. He came back into the backfield and then got a little dump off pass, stopped short of the first by Parks.
Wow, what a tackle.
And Denver again just going to force the Chargers to try the field goal.
Yeah, I mean, just in the open field. I saw this play in practice. It's just a real quick throw to the outside, hoping that you can get McCluster in that exact spot where he'll make the guy miss and pick up the first down. So what a job by Parks.
It's a wonderful opportunity for the Chargers. What did you say? Do a little business. And if they got into the end zone, could have had the 3-score lead. This is Lambeau from 31. And he's good again.
This team is built on defense, Denver, and their defense is keeping them in the game.
Don Pagano's defense been sensational tonight. Toomer forced it, recovered it, led to a field goal. We were showing those standings out of the AFC West a few moments ago, and you think it might have looked a whole lot different at this.
Yeah, if you watch you watch this guy tonight, watched him last week, you think he couldn't help the outcome of some of those games early in the year? I definitely think he would have. He'd changed it.
Tracy, over to you.
Jim, we mentioned earlier Gary Kubiak watching from home. Well, he's not alone. He's got company. His son, Klein Kubiak, with him, tweeting, sitting on the couch with Pops watching TNF, pretty normal. Sitting on the couch with Pops watching the Broncos, not normal at all. You can only imagine how hard it is, I'm sure, for Gary Kubiak right now watching his team from afar.
Can't imagine. Thank you, Tracy.
Well, can they find an answer to this San Diego defense?
Play action, fake and rollout time. Again, that was quick pressure on him. Palapoy was the one who was chasing after him.
Yep, you got to be alert for boots. Here's Palapoy, and they're ready for it. Good job by Adrian Phillips, the safety, staying outside, trying to get an easy completion, and John Pagano Kind of like Ken Wisenhunt. I mean, they just said, hey, we got 3 days. Let's put it all in. And they do make some mental mistakes because they do so much. But so far tonight, they have turned nobody loose.
John Pagano, raised in Boulder, Colorado. His father, Sam, the legendary longtime high school football coach, Fairview. And that's an incompletion.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas was open.
Well, he was open, but you know, he felt it or saw or thought somebody was coming, and he was right. That was going to be Brown that was just going to come up and... Let's watch Joey Bosa at 99, left defensive end. Oh boy, good job getting around the corner. I think his favorite and best moves when he goes inside.
3rd and 10. The catch for a short gain. John Phillips, the former Charger, stopped well short of it. And again, the Broncos offense comes off the field quickly. Corey Toomer had the fumble recovery, the forced fumble and the recovery, made that play to stop him well short.
Yep. How's the tackling look for the San Diego Chargers here tonight? I don't think they've missed a tackle. It seems like they are sharp. Arms out, right position, form tackling. It's the way the NFL teaches it.
Held Denver now to 82 yards. And we're at 6.5 to go, 3rd quarter. There's McCusker. Dives down, 37. Are they going to turn their fortunes around tonight? The Chargers have been in control since the opening drive, leading at 16-3. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Lowe's. Make your home happy. And by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next gen network. This is a look at the conceptual design intended to convey the Chargers' vision of what the stadium and convention center expansion could look like. Of course, November the 8th, Election Day, a big vote coming up on whether or not we're going to build a stadium here, and it's going to be approved by the citizens of San Diego. But they need 66% of the vote.
Games like tonight help that vote.
Here's Rivers' throw, just throws it away. Almost hard to imagine that San Diego could be without the Chargers. I'd hate to see it happen. The next gen stats right now, again presented by Verizon.
Well, usually they use double tight ends 18 times a game. Tonight, 26, and it's been a big part of why they get out to that early lead. The deception the tight ends cause, back of the end zone, the catch with a touchdown by Hunter. Mismatches, that's why you put the extra tight ends in there to get against the linebackers or the safeties. Worked pretty well, and even when you have a good game plan, still hard to do a lot against this defense.
Across the middle and a diving grab made by Hunter Henry, who's been Rivers' favorite target tonight. That went for 15, but a flag back in the offensive backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 95. That 15-yard penalty will be out at the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Derek Wolfe, that will add 15 as you see Talib having a little exchange with Rivers, but 15 on the catch, 15 on the penalty. They'll be at the 35.
Excellent job of stepping up in the pocket. Derek Wolfe got him, brings him down to what, tight end over the middle, but you got to call that. You knew the play was over. You cannot drag the quarterback down after he has released the ball.
There you see Barksdale, who was shaken up when they were inside the 10. He has returned at right tackle.
That's what they want to do. Hey, we did that next gen. Use the tight ends. Been a big part of this offense tonight.
1st and 10 and another quick flag. After a Gordon carry of 2. This whole stadium situation, though, it's complicated. And if it ends up just as a majority in favor.
Illegal formation, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
It seems as though there is a possibility that could trigger all kinds of hold on a minute, second takes, maybe we ought to reconsider. The 66% would okay it and approve it and move it forward. But of course by January the Chargers if this is not passed, they're going to have to ultimately make that move. Do they go to L.A.? What do they do?
Tom Telesco next to Dean Spanos. Well, you know, Jim, let's be honest. To think that you're going to get 66% of any group of any people to agree on something is almost impossible.
Here's a 1st and 15. Down to about the 35. And as we were walking into the stadium we've been to so many times through the years, and you think of the history here. The Padres used to be here. There have been Super Bowls here. This is where Doug Williams and the Redskins routed the Broncos back in 1988. You know, Elway won a Super Bowl.
I did the game with Dick Enberg.
Yeah, there you go.
We opened the game tonight here, sitting in this booth, and I want to tell Dick Enberg the booth is no bigger now than it was then.
Tampa Bay won a Super Bowl in here against the Raiders. But so much history in this city, and there's college bowl games as well. Sure would be great to see the Chargers somehow find a way to stay here. 2nd and 11. Pass is in the area of Gordon as Rivers had Marshall all over him.
Yeah, look, it was a great concept. The screen, good timing. They were coming up the field, but it's the speed of the defense. Marshall comes on the blitz, so you can't, has to get rid of him before he's ready. But look how fast they recover on the other side. Stewart there. Boy, this defense is...
Well, you got a 3rd and 11 coming up from here. If they don't pick up any yardage, you'll be talking about a Lambeau kick of about 53, which is near his career long of 54.
Do you do it and take the chance of missing it?
It's number 21. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Second Denver penalty on this drive. The Wolf roughing the passer, and then this one on 3rd and 11 on Talib.
Yeah, look outside that little hitch and go. Aqib Talib reads outside the end. So that was his chance. He thought, I got the pattern. They're trying to pick up yards to maybe kick a field goal. So he was going for the interception. That's where he gets most of his, looking from the outside, going inside the receiver and making the play.
So the ball spot at the 20. I know we had a brief signal loss there for a moment. Sorry about that. Here's a first down snap from the 20. Rivers is looking downfield for Gates.
Well, I'll tell you what, you cannot get rid of the football fast enough, can you, Jim? I mean, we're way up here, and that pocket, it collapses fast. You know, that time that was Billy Wynn, 97, that pushed back there.
They've been getting a lot of pressure, but they do not have a sack tonight.
But it stops completions.
Doesn't seem like Rivers and Gates are in sync like they have been for years. But a 2nd and 10. Now, Hunter Henry's been another story. Here's another pass play coming up. In fact, no one there. Again, it was Gates.
Gates, boy, Marion Stewart all over it.
Rivers looks frustrated off these last 2 throws in Gates' direction.
Well, you know, he's trying to throw it to him, but you could see Stewart is on the outside because that's where he was supposed to be. Phillip Rivers doesn't like it, but Stewart knew he had somebody in the middle to help him if Gates broke across the middle, so stayed outside, nowhere to throw the football.
Third and 10. There's Williams trying to turn it around that corner, but runs out of real estate at the 14. And once again, we'll see a field goal attempt from Lambeau.
Yeah, a lot of field goals. And listen, you can still a good drive by the Chargers to get down here, to get in this position, to get the short field goal. And you know who you're playing against? Good safe throw, good safe call. Put the pressure and keep the pressure on Denver's offense.
Mike went to snap it back to Clements. Finley, and he is now 4 for 4 for the night. 19-3. Still a 2-possession game, but Rivers is unhappy that they're settling for all these field goals.
Oh wait, man, we've been bragging about him all night, how positive he is. That was not, but hey, he knows they got a chance to put the game put the game away. And, you know, I want to go back to what you said earlier, Jim, that they were a positive. Phillip Rivers is always positive. Just think how they approached this game. You know, he said to us, hey, I'm not going to walk down the hallway and I see guys, I'm going to smile and say, hey, let's go.
I'm not moping around here. That's not going to help.
Doesn't help anything.
I'm going to act like we won them all. That's what he said. He says it just takes one win. And then these young kids will say, oh, that's how it's done. Okay. You know, he wasn't giving up on anything.
Say, you know, we look at San Diego and play football. It's just not balanced.
Yeah, it's a fine balance, though. You want to try to be positive, but you also don't want to act like these losses don't hurt.
No, that's right. Well, I think they know that, and it's, hey, the great attitude that they used this week has come out in this game so far.
No chance. Bring it out to the 25. So at what point do the Chargers actually have it enter their head? Oh my goodness, we're in the fourth quarter with another lead, or can they just somehow block that out?
Man, you know, listen, you know, a couple things. You know, players don't think like that. I mean, I know we all think that, but they're down there, they're just going to play play hard, and, you know, they're not sitting there going, oh my gosh, it's fourth quarter's coming, we're going to blow it. Guys don't think like that. And, you know, the great thing about just going back to the positive attitude, you know, don't let the mind beat the body. And tonight, that attitude, and we're seeing it with the play, how well they're doing everything.
Here they toss it to Booker. Slides out of the tackle and makes a nice effort here. Out to about the 43. Rookie's had a couple of good runs. That one's for 17, and that is actually their first play of the night that went for at least 10 yards.
Oh, and he broke the tackle in the backfield of Melvin Ingram, and that's what they need. They need, it's the old saying, is somebody just make a play and get this thing rolling. Excellent job by Booker.
Pass it over to Booker. He collides with Jatavis Brown. Well, look ahead here to Sunday on CBS and Fox, the next broadcast window. Games like Cincinnati and the Patriots and other action. 49ers at the Bills, Eagles and Redskins on CBS and Fox, all that action. Check your local listings. The last play went for 5. Here's a handoff. Booker is taking them on now, and the rookie butts heads and keeps on going. Picks up 16.
I think it's Schofield, the right guard. Watch him come across and knock down Palapoy. And when he does that, it gives the cutback lane to Booker to pick up those big yards.
Booker now with 5 carries, 46 yards, and suddenly able to provide the spark that's been missing all night long for the Denver offense. Here's a pass to Norwood. He goes out of bounds after another gain of 6.
Well, this time, Denver's play calling, of course, the runs help, but these short passes on first down, that's what they're willing to give up, San Diego. But the problem is, they're good. Denver's offense is they're throwing those into third and long situations. They'll give you the short ones. Good calls on first down, though.
Again, the likes of Emmanuel Sanders tonight, 1 catch, which was on their first play, for 6 yards. C.J. Anderson now says Booker can run, I can too. And a flag out back at the line of scrimmage. That was a best effort of the night.
Offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Paradis takes away Anderson's best carry.
I say Paradis has had some really good blocks so far tonight. What's 61 right in the center. Missed him real quick. It was a takedown, so that was a good call. Really having a good year, though. Very, very good run blocker, Matt Paradis.
Second and 13. Booker has returned to the backfield. He got this drive going. Looking for him out of the backfield. He catches it with one hand. And is down to about the 38. Good morning football. NFL Network's fresh new way to start your day is tomorrow. Get all the latest around the league, plus the fantasy advice to give you an edge in your matchup this weekend. Good morning football.
Yep.
A little bit of everything. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. NFL Network.
Nate Burleson, Kay Adams, Kyle Brandt.
Peter Schrager.
Is he still on?
Are you kidding? He's starring.
I caught you.
Last
Big
20 seconds of the third. Simeon lost the football.
Incomplete.
It incomplete. Slipped out of his hand, but his arm was moving forward.
Yep, does he have control of the football as his arm goes forward? Tried to hold on to it, couldn't do it. Of course, that holding penalty just put the Chargers back in that comfort zone where they were going to make you be aggressive and make the play.
You ready for this? 56-yard attempt coming up for McManus. Career long is 57. Last year he made all 7 attempts from 50 plus. This from 56, and it is no good. Never hooked. And the Chargers are going to take over near midfield.
Plenty of distance. That was one of those decisions, Joe DeCamillis, you have to make.
Wisenhut's offense is going to start off with another excellent position at the 46. And the Broncos have been held to just a field goal. Here's Gordon. And he's able to burst through. Got caught by the ankles by Marshall. But 19-3, Chargers after 3. Back after this message and a word from your local station. Fourth quarter has arrived in San Diego. Chargers football, second and short. 19-3 lead over the defending Super Bowl champions. Here's a carry. Gordon, he's close. By the way, a lot of discussion and scrutiny about the national anthem. Just to be fair here, during the quarter change, they played God Bless America. Philip Rivers in the middle of a drive. He paused and was singing, and you see in the background Melvin Ingram along with Jatavis Brown, hands over their heart.
Good sight.
That was a first down. Gordon able to squeeze it out right to the chain. There's Gordon. Look in the middle, running behind center Matt Slauson. And what an amazing career change for the center here at San Diego. Longtime guard in this league, owes so much of his career to Bill Callahan, who was his coach at Nebraska, his offensive line coach when he was at the Jets. He kind of came in at a time where Faneca was ending his career, ended up being with the Bears for several years. All of a sudden, San Diego says, hey, we saw you on tape. You played a couple of games last year as a center. We believe in you.
4 games, brought him out here. He's brought this line together. That's what they talked about. You know, I'm a big believer. Every team needs that.
That was a carry by Kenneth Farrell because Gordon limped off after that previous run. So they've got a rookie running back out of the University of Houston who's now in the backfield as Gordon is getting some medical attention on the bench.
Von Miller once again in the tackle. But to go back to Slauson, you know, when you have a center, I always say if you get a franchise center, he kind of pulls the line together, makes the group, you know, he has to make the calls. He's making all the calls for what the line to do. They took some of that responsibility away from Philip Rivers. Just a great offseason pickup by the Chargers.
3rd and 10. He chose San Diego when he was on the free agent market because he believed this roster.
Yeah,
they had a chance to do big things.
Right.
Here's the draw play to Farrow. And He is tackled by Davis near the 38. And it's going to be an interesting decision coming up here. Because if you kick the field goal and you make it, you got a chance for a 3-score lead.
Yep.
And if you miss it, you're going to set up Denver.
No, I love this call. You're right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Don't even give Denver, make Denver work and drive the length of the field. Mike McCoy did not hesitate to send in the putting unit.
Hunt. Pacer. Covered up. What a play. Oh, and a Denver player, Norwood, came in. But they're ruling him down at the 3. Trevor Williams kept his balance, stayed out of the end zone.
Yeah, good job just kicking back. Norwood going and touching the ball means nothing.
So we'll get the effort here by Trevor Williams. Remember Kasim Osgood back in San Diego's time back 10 years ago, and make plays like this all the time. And you alluded to the point that you think, wait a minute, touch Norwood, what's the deal here?
Well, yep, punting team, once they touch the football and down it, the receiving team then has basically a free play where they could pick the football up, run with it, and if you fumble it, you still get it back to where it was originally touched. But that was not the case there. Kind of confusing, but I know what I'm saying. Could you follow me?
Absolutely. And
okay.
I can also attest to Kaser tonight has done a magnificent job punting.
Correction, the ball was touched at the 3-yard line. First down 10 Denver.
He has certainly taken his lumps after the botched hold last week and a few meager punts. He's come up big. There's a flag down as Thomas makes the grab, a 12-yard catch. But there's another flag in the end zone thrown.
Well, the second one's probably going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, I'm just guessing, because it happened so late after the play. Holding in the end zone, maybe.
Well, you know what that would be.
That would be a safety.
And Mike McCoy wants it. Safety, which would make it a 3-score difference. Ingram's already starting a celebration. Let's see.
Yeah, be careful. Be another flag.
There were 2 fouls, both by the offense. After the play, personal foul, necessary roughness, number 85. That penalty is declined. During the play, holding in the end zone, offense, number 76. That penalty results in a safety.
Wow. McCoy able to release what has certainly been the most trying month of his career, and that is a huge moment in this game. Max Garcia, the left guard, is called for it.
Against Karan Reed. And there was the personal foul. Virgil Green hitting Joey Bosa.
It opens up the lead to 21-3, and the Chargers will receive the free kick.
Boy, how about Mike McCoy, how emotional this team is. You could even see the emotion in Phillip Rivers when he was... Yep, they know it. Well, watch Mike McCoy,
and the embattled coach, who has certainly come under so much scrutiny. Even in the San Diego Union Tribune today, they were calling for a coaching change.
Well, he said we're a lot better than this 1-4 record. Of course, I believe that too, but you got to finish these games off in the NFL. And I've seen their offense. John Pagano, the defensive coordinator, you know, an honest guy, just says we are so close to playing really, really good defense. But I told you, they do so much sometimes that they hurt themselves. They make mistakes. But boy, 3 possessions are got a lead now, and that defense has been awesome all night.
3-possession lead, and the football about to be in their hands. Boy, this short kick here.
They're catching.
Careful. Oh, it falls loose, and look, Denver recovers at the 50. And finally, says Joe DeCamillis, A break for our side as that was Kenny Wiggins who tried to make the catch.
I think they did this on purpose.
Oh, no question.
You know, he kicked it end over end, which is not what a punter would do in a situation like that. So
Shiloh KO recovers.
They kicked it so short, you had a guy like Kenny Wiggins trying to make the catch.
You put a guy in position who never handles a football to have to try to make a catch. So they exchange 2 points to get from the 3-yard line to the 50. That's in essence what happened. But of course, those 2 points have made it a 3-score differential. So the biggest gaffes of the evening by the Chargers, both happening on special teams with the Benjamin muff, and now this one right here, Wiggins. I'm sure there's not many times in a week that he's going to practice trying to field a punt.
No. He's just trying to be ready like he was tonight to be called into the game if somebody gets hurt.
Which he was for a brief while when Barksdale went out.
You know, you look at this situation here, this is a must get points on the board for the Denver Broncos. Not sure what the discussion's about.
Of course, all turnovers are reviewed. I don't know exactly what the delay is, but Rolstad staying out on the field and says, okay, let's go. And McCoy, who has got to feel like he's been snake bit far too many times, now must again lean on his defense to ensure that Denver doesn't gain any momentum. Simeon, complete to Green, and it's only good for 6. Well, the Broncos win the vote. In the can vote, Bud Light beer with your team on it.
All right. I was worried about it. I'm glad
that result is in. 2nd and 4. Sanders with his second catch. Wow, what a hit by Brown.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're just, said it many times now, you just sit there, wait, catch it underneath, make the tackle. 3 scores down, so you got to be careful. Know that don't take a chance. A field goal keeps you in the game.
Simeon's going to tuck it under. There's a flag back in the offensive backfield. He scrambled for 9.
It's going to be Schofield against Brandon Mebane.
Holding. Offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty, replay. First down.
Boy, Brandon Mebane, good pickup.
Long time, 10-year player in the league and came over free agent by way of Seattle.
Yep. Really didn't get a chance, as they said, to rush the passer enough up in Seattle. But boy, that's one thing they've said, hey, we keep him in there in obvious passing situations because he can get it done. Good penetrator. And of course, excellent against the run.
Boza gets a break on this play. 7 penalties in the half on the Broncos. As Simeon tries to find an open target, tosses it away to save the sack. With NFL Game Pass, replay the games you missed with condensed games in 45 minutes, or the full broadcast versions get the new mid-season offer today, NFL.com/Game Pass.
Well, twice they've had a chance to get this game back to where they wanted, the Denver Broncos. And what has happened? Both times they've had penalties. And those penalties now put them in that situation where that play was there for Trevor Simeon to throw it short. He was looking somewhere else, and hard to pick up big yards when they're playing soft coverage.
2nd and 20. It's Norwood with his 5th catch. He had 7 on the season coming in. Good for 11, but it'll be a 3rd and 9. Broncos at the San Diego 36.
Yeah, good move. One of the few missed tackles we've seen by the San Diego defense tonight.
Thomas at the bottom of the screen. Got 3 catches for only 19 yards, and the whistle this play dead.
Ball start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Make that 8 second-half penalties called against Denver.
There he goes.
10 for the game. Almost as many penalty yards in this half as total yards.
Pick up some yards, you hope. Get in field goal range.
Boza back out on that defensive line as Simeon across the middle. He's got Sanders at the 21 and a 1st down.
There you go. That was some throw. Trevor Simeon, going to see in the top of your screen. Just threw it right over the top of the linebacker in front of the safety.
Sanders hurt, and he's down on the sideline with his helmet off. Benny Fowler in for him. 1st and 10. Simeon almost intercepted as he was trying to feed Norwood for a 6th time. That is Mager, who made a play on the ball.
Boy, 29, Craig Mager has had a good night. Just reading the quarterback. Don't fault the decision of Simeon there, trying to make the play, being aggressive. We started the game out. I said he's poised, not afraid to take chances and make big throws. Just hadn't had enough opportunities tonight to do that.
2nd and 10, draw play. Anderson within 1 of the 1st. 3rd and 1 coming up.
Well, our center, Matt Paradis, that time had a good block down the field to help him get some extra yards.
Pick up the 1st down and chug along to the 5. Gain of 7. Well, this Denver team has scored its last 38 times in goal-to-go situations. They've come away with points. They got 1st and goal to go from the 5. Whistle. Nope. Play is ruled dead.
Prior to the snap, first charge timeout, San Diego.
Oh, San Diego got the timeout before the snap. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your local Lexus dealer and the pursuit of perfection.
Well, this drive, this situation all comes from what? The punt that started it. Sanders back in the game.
He was jogging down the sideline trying to get loose during that timeout. Had a big 3rd down catch to keep this drive going. 1st and goal. Sanders to the left, Thomas at the bottom, and they're looking Thomas's way, trying to fight off the defender, and is ruled incomplete.
Well, excellent coverage on the outside. Casey Hayward. I think it was Casey Hayward last week that gave up that long pass on 4th and 2. It was in almost that exact same position, but the catch was made against him by the Raiders to help him win the game.
Well, some effort by Thomas, though, to try to catch it and get his feet down. It was incomplete, though, clearly. And 2nd and goal it is. Simeon. Oh, a pass intended there for Thomas. But again, a San Diego player jumped in front of the route. Mager.
I think he gets away with it. He does not see Mager coming across. Ball is high anyway.
3rd and goal. We have 8 minutes to go. If they fail to get it in here, Joe DeCamillis will face his biggest decision. He's down 3 scores.
Right. Well, I think if he nothing here, I think he will kick the field goal if they don't get it.
Simeon in zone, and it's caught for the touchdown by Benny Fowler.
Excellent pass protection. Gave Simeon extra time. He was looking to his right. There was nothing there. And then he comes back. By looking to his right, it creates that open hole in the middle of the field. And he finds Fowler. Fowler top of the screen coming across. See as he looks to his right. And nobody around him. Joey Bosa can't get there. A three-man rush.
Good pass by Simeon.
Couple really good throws by Trevor Simeon that
Manus adds the extra point. We have 8:08 to play. You saw Wiggins coming out onto the field. His fumble set it up. And the Broncos finally find the end zone 52 minutes into the game. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Walmart. This Halloween, save on candy, costumes, and more at Walmart. And by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the uncarrier.
Well, what is it? It's nervous time now. These are tough situations. How to finish the game off. Of course, the Chargers have not been good at it. But right here, you got to find a way to get a first down.
Gordon's had fumble issues the last couple of weeks. He's tackled after one. D. Camillus was actually trying to set up something, either pin him deep or maybe even get a recovery down there.
Oh, no. He was setting up your play. That's why he's so upset.
I've been calling for it all year.
They were in onside alert. The San Diego Chargers, nobody back but the kick returner. He wanted that ball kicked short where it would stay inside the 10 and they could make the tackle. If he wants to get him, there's Phillip Rivers' numbers. If they want a first down, they're going to have to throw it.
2nd and 9. And again, Gordon swallowed up by Jared Crick. Tracy, what do you hear on the sideline?
Well, Jim, an update on Emmanuel Sanders. He has a left hip injury. He's running back and forth on the sidelines trying to loosen it up. They have called him questionable to return, Jim.
All right, he got back in there for a play, then stepped out for the next one.
Well, very conservative play calling, 2 runs. And now you got to be careful with the football.
Rivers in trouble, and he is taken down all the way back near the 13. Shane Ray and a whole host of Broncos take him off the field in 3 plays and back them up 11 yards.
Shane Ray on the outside, and what happens, King Dunlap so afraid of the speed getting to the outside, then he gets overpowered. And boy, Shane Ray, a first-round draft pick, is getting the hang of this, being around Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, turning into some pass rusher.
Yeah, Crick was in on that as well. Wolf, Ray.
But obvious passing situations all night. They've had a hard time protecting Phillip Rivers.
Kaiser standing near the goal line. He's been brilliant tonight. This is a good boot to Norwood. Backpedals 27-yard line. Might be a block in the back. No flag. As Norwood dances around to the 37. Oh boy, maybe another nail biter on the way. 59-yard punt. Next Thursday night, we're heading to Green Bay. The Bears and the Packers. NFC North action. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers get set to host the Bears. We'll have it for you next week. 5:45 to go. Simeon starts it out with a throw to Sanders. And he's got 6.
Yeah, you know,
hurt.
Yep, that hip. Tracy Wilson talked about it, but see, this is where you're in a position. You know what they're going to do. Denver gets you in this situation. Von Miller makes the sack. Can somebody do it for San Diego?
Maybe it'll be Bosa. Here's the throw to Fowler, who caught the touchdown. And he takes it across midfield. Steve Williams was trying to wrestle the football away from him.
And it can't get more obvious in passing the football than right now of what they're going to do.
5 minutes to play. Simeon. Pass. Oh, what a hit. Incomplete. Fowler at the double hit.
Well, Simeon takes a shot, wants to get it. Just out of the reach of everybody.
That's Adrian Phillips. Comes in for the second lick.
A lot of big hits tonight by that secondary.
Mike McCoy just praying his team can figure out a way to close it. They've been the best 55-minute team in football. Here's the throw to an open man, and Phillips has it all the way down to the 31. And they've already gotten now into field goal range. Why is that important? We were talking in the break that if anything else, if they got 3 here, the game is still open.
Oh, yes, it is. 8-point lead, but I don't know what they did wrong there. Couldn't really figure it out why there was nobody backside in the zone, or somebody should have been running with him if it was man coverage.
Here's a draw play. Anderson sprints ahead for 11. Right up the middle behind Paradis.
Chargers played it safe. So that running play is going to be there. You got pass rushers trying to get to the quarterback. Everybody else is dropping back. The draw play wide open.
Broncos with 4:24 to go and all their timeouts. Set it up again across the middle to Anderson. He breaks away and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. Incredible. A flag is out.
Holding. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty, replay. Second half. First down.
That was some effort by C.J. Anderson that's wiped off the board.
On the outside, Kyle Emanuel, 91, is held by Russell Okung. Oh, thinks he's going to get beat inside and just wraps him up.
That's the 5th hold, Phil, on the Denver offensive line.
Well, here they go. They got in a situation again where they usually play safe, but late in the game, what have we seen here at the end? The defense is getting tired. They're starting to miss tackles.
1st and 20. Back at the 30.
Blitz.
Simeon taken down at the 41. That is Jatavis Brown, who's made plays tonight, the rookie out of Akron, with his 3rd sack of the season.
Here he comes. Boy, we said he could run early in the game. How about that? It happened so fast, and John Pagano finally just said, all right, enough of this trying to milk the clock. Let's make a play.
And he moved them out of field goal territory. 2nd and 30. Back in it, though, with this throw to Thomas, and the ball comes out, and it's recovered by the Chargers. Mager with the recovery. The hit by Brown, who had made the sack on the previous play.
Oh, just helmet in front of the body. What they've been doing all night long, making big hits when the receivers come underneath.
Jatavis Brown lowering that helmet right into the arm, the ball-carrying arm of Thomas, and he just jars it loose.
Yep.
One play after making the sack.
Well, you know what it is? Finally, they made the play to finish a game. I mean, that's what that was. The sack.
Bronco miscues, couple of fumbles lost. A missed field goal, a safety allowed. That's just in the second half. And Gordon with quick contact by Talib. Timeout called by the Broncos. By the way, here's the lineup Sunday on CBS, dialing up regional action. Andy Dalton and the Bengals take on Brady and the Patriots, plus Baltimore at the Giants. Other regional action. Kansas City will be at Oakland. Some will get their game late. Folks up in Oakland watching this game with tremendous interest, because if this goes final and the Broncos lose, the Raiders will be alone at the top of the AFC West.
I think when they look back on this game, you know, they wanted to run the football. We talked about it. The Denver Broncos, if they lose, it's not over. But just that when they got in rhythm, throwing those short passes, and, you know, the defense really didn't change for San Diego. So They were intent on running it, never got their offense in rhythm until here late in the game.
3.5 to go. Gordon fires it off the left side and picks up good yardage. Give him 5, maybe 6. And again, the Broncos quick with the timeout. And again, that AFC West with Oakland sitting at 4-1, getting prepared to host Kansas City on Sunday. Some of you will see that on CBS. Denver at 4-1 after a 4-0 start. And the Chargers trying to somehow completely change their season, which now, after this week, would take them to Atlanta. And their next game after that is this team again, Denver, in 2 weeks.
Well, the one thing San Diego, a lot of good things. Remember, one plan was to make sure Von Miller didn't do his thing against the quarterback, so he stopped that.
Flag at the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 6.
Offside defense, the nose tackle. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
And that'll be 3rd and 1, and a first down could pretty much close it out if they're able to get that yard. And this is that schedule with 2 tough assignments coming up at Atlanta and then Denver. It's strange to see teams play 2 out of 3 weeks, but it happens from time to time.
Yeah, it does. Had it happened to me a few times in my career, and I can just say I hated it. I mean, just not enough time between to figure out a new game plan or whatever. But
3rd and 1. Gordon. Broncos are there to stuff it. Davis and others. Nelson, Corey Nelson. And timeout called by the Broncos, their last.
Well, Joe DeCamillis he's had a couple good special team things. I think thought that first the punt, and then he didn't get the kickoff the way he wanted it inside the 10-yard line. So I'm pretty sure he's, as most special team coaches, as a play that he hopes it gives him a chance to block this punt.
Kind of an oddity here, and DeCamillis has sent Talib back as the returner. You don't see that very often. They've had Norwood back all evening up to this point. KO is and the up man at the 30, but Talib back at the 10. Of course, you've seen Talib off of 9 pick sixes. When he gets in open field, watch out.
Yeah, you got to be alert. Big alert for San Diego. Could they try to play it to receiver?
Talib stepped up, got a hand on it, tackled to himself. That was dangerous, and then falls at the 16. Stuckey was there quickly. 3 minutes to go. No timeouts for Denver. The fumble first by Taylor. That led to a field goal. That was a field goal try from 56. It had plenty of distance, but wide right. Safety with the offensive holding in the end zone. And then Thomas coughing it up as he had made the catch to put him into field goal range at the very least. That's all the miscues in the second half you just saw. Simeon. Anderson to the 23, and the clock will run.
Now they're going to give him the short passes to eat up the time.
Second and 3. There's Thomas. Got the first down across the 30. 2:30 to go. Rivers pacing anxiously. Pump fake now, looking for an option. It's Anderson. Just giving him all this little underneath stuff.
Just make sure you make him throw it in front of the linebacker so they can stop all the runs after the catch.
Not going to get another play before the 2-minute warning, as hard as Simeon was trying. So 2 minutes to go. 21-10 Chargers. You're watching Thursday Night Football. Coming up next is the Mazda postgame show with analysis and highlights of tonight's game, plus a special guest on the set coming up on the Mazda postgame show. Broncos down 11, no timeouts to go. They tell me there's a 99.9% chance now that San Diego is going to win this game.
Well, you know, just wait. It's never over. We see that in the NFL. We see how hard it is to close games out, no question about it. But one thing you got to say, no matter what turns out here, Mike McCoy, a 1-4 team with those 4 tough losses, he had his team ready to play here tonight.
Yes, he did. He's certainly been under fire here. A lot of people wanted to pin the blame and all these crazy bounces and oddities that have happened at the end of the game. Put it on his head, but he had his team prepared on a short week here. Now just trying to close out the last 2 minutes. 2nd and 3 for Simeon. Then they go to Anderson. Ingram there to meet him at the 50. San Diego stays on top of him, try to just let every second go by.
Well, that and Joe DeCamillis has to be watching the clock and knowing if they do get it in field goal range, knowing you need that second score, maybe you get the field goal early instead of keep trying to drive the football.
Over to Fowler in the field of play for 8. Minute and a half and running. Simeon batted away at the line of scrimmage. That was Corey Legit.
Legit and Joey Bosa was close to coming around the edge. Boy. Legit can't get past Garcia, stands there and watches. Does a great job getting his hands up.
Mazda post-game show again immediately after the game. Highlights and analysis and a special guest on the Mazda post-game show. 1:14 remaining. And 3rd and 2. Picks up the first. Getting out of bounds. Had a couple of Chargers that could have made a play, brought him down on the field of play, but stops the clock at 1:07.
Yep.
New set of downs.
Yep, big difference. Keep him in the field of play, but taking another 10 to 15 seconds maybe off the clock.
Now Thomas on the sideline. Without Sanders, that hip just too aggravated for him to be out there. Incomplete. Trying to thread it to Taylor. And we've got Steve Williams down for San Diego. Slow to get up and now trying to walk it off.
A lot of plays for this San Diego defense here in this 4th quarter. My gosh.
Thomas back out. He's at the top. 2nd and 10. Incomplete over the head of Norwood.
Now they're looking for the play down the field. That's what Trevor Simeon was going to give him a chance. But good job by the defense. McCoy.
And if you don't pick up anything here, you do have the option again.
Kick the field goal.
56 yards for McManus, who missed from that distance in the other direction, but had plenty of leg.
I think if you pick up 5 or 6 yards, you got to think of kicking the field goal on 4th down.
There's the throw, right in the field of play, and Phillips is pushed back. I believe he's short. They're already running out.
Running out the field goal
McManus. And Simeon says, oh, hey, he was about to run a play, and now he sees they're out there. They've sent him out, and he's heading to the sideline. It's going to be 46-yard attempt. Here's McManus his kick into within one score.
That was a great job. Great job by Joe DeCamillis, the team, playing the situation right. He was ready for it. If it wasn't going to be a first down, no matter what, they were going to kick that field goal.
Well, we expect and we hope for Gary Kubiak. He'll be back in the building on Monday getting prepared for the next game. But Joe DeCamillis tonight, first time ever on the sideline as the head coach. You can't say there's been anything that he's done that you would second guess.
He's done a good job. That was just right there. That was excellent. The punt to go back that after the safety was excellent.
By the way, Phillips was stacked up and he was awfully close. And now we're told that that was a first down, but they rushed out the field goal unit, went ahead and clock was running, went ahead and kicked the field goal. I wasn't so sure when I saw it with the eyeball. It was close. Now McManus is 0 for 5 on his career onside kicks. Never had one recovered for his side. Jay Feely, you're down there. What do you think we're going to see from McManus?
Well, Jim, he likes to hit the high onside to his right. NFL teams this year, interestingly, only 1 of 16. That's 6% on the year.
Only one. Hold on, whistle first. San Diego called a timeout right as he was about to approach.
This is a 30-second timeout.
It was a good job. They waited to the last second, Mike McCoy, to see what they were going to do, and then he called the timeout before the kick was made. So Jay has been right every time on the onside kicks this year.
Yep. Now what do you do, though, Jay? Now that they've kind of played their hand, what do? They mix it up here?
Well, Joe's got a bunch of onsides that he likes to do with McManus. He's got the onside middle roll. I think McManus is going to look back over to Joe DeCamillis, get the call, and go with the look that gives him the best opportunity. I still think they go with the high hop onside. That's his best kick.
Jay Feely, who has a very close tie to Joe DeCamillis, they teamed up together. Joe was his coach for a while in this league. And McManus puts it back on the tee. San Diego fans holding their breath. Well, there's a whole 30-yard gap, though, right over that front line.
Yep.
Puts it on the ground in a hurry, and it is recovered by the Broncos. My goodness, Taylor with the recovery.
That onside kick there just hugs the ground, never pops up. Saw this last week. Look how it just stays down the whole time and doesn't get that big hop where you can make the recovery.
Taylor, who had the fumble earlier in this half, perfectly played this one. And he was the only one there. Again, no timeouts for Joe DeCamillis and Denver, but they have hope. They have 27 seconds to go.
And, you know, there was really nobody there to recover the football for the San Diego Chargers.
Simeon, sideline, caught. Green. How about Simeon's arm to heave it into the end zone? Oh. Not that he has to do it here, but,
no, but he's got it. They're already in a spot where he can do that easily.
You said earlier that these players never think about the past, but I guarantee there's a whole legion of Charger fans all over the world right now who are thinking about what's happened in recent weeks.
Got to keep them in bounds if they complete the pass.
2nd and 1. It's complete, and Anderson cradles it, goes out of bounds at the 41.
Boy, just
wow.
Tremendous job by Denver just managing this game. Mike McCoy just can't even believe they're still in this situation.
We saw a Hail Mary last year on Thursday Night Football in Detroit. Aaron Rodgers to Richard Rodgers. And now the Chargers have called. Hold on, they might maybe, hold on a minute, they may be reviewing whether or not Anderson had a clean catch.
Yep.
Got the timeout signal there. Yeah, they're going to go. They're going to go check this one out. This catch. Oh, once he secured it between the knees.
Hands on the football.
Once he has control, were the feet down at that point?
Well, football move came out of his hand. I think it's going to be incomplete.
Well, it'd be either 3rd and 1 at the 45 if they overturn that, or it'd be 1st and 10 at the 41 if it holds up. You're at the point now, if you make a catch in the field of play, you almost, well, you're going to be hard-pressed to get another play off. I'm not sure that once he secured it, that the feet were down.
Ball's moving. Going to the ground.
Is there enough there to overturn it?
After review, bobbled as the runner went out of bounds, and he did not have possession inbounds. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
It's a long delay. Chance for a Denver defense or Denver offense to try to at least come up with some sort of strategy and maybe even give this San Diego defense a much needed break. They've been out there for a lot of plays this quarter.
Give them a break. Maybe somebody get that little extra effort on the pass rush.
They drop back defenders, Phil, all the way back to the 20. Here's Simeon. Pressure. Gets away from Legion. Now goes out of bounds. And 8 seconds to go.
Well, that determines it's going to be 4th down. I was going to say if he threw it short, they would have had time to, if it was in the field of play, to spike the football, get the 1st down, and throw one in the end zone. Well, no, that run got the 1st down, so he has time to maybe throw 2 to the end zone.
They've got Fowler. They've got Thomas. They've got Taylor and Green. All out there as targets. Putting size down here at the bottom. Well, they're going to review now that last play and the spot.
Spot of the ball.
With 2 reviews in the last 15 seconds of this game. Greg Knapp will have a chance to, again, come up with some options for his second-year quarterback.
Well, here you go. Where's the 1st down? You see, does he stick his hand out with the football?
Looks like actually he's closer to the 46. Yeah, they marked it at the 44.
Definitely short of the 1st down.
Well, here's the Chargers last week who fell victim to a bad spot.
After review, the quarterback stepped out when the ball was at the 45-yard line. Therefore, it will be 4th down and 1, Denver at the 45-yard line.
This week, the officials catch it. It saved the San Diego defense one option that Denver had, and that was to take maybe a quick 6 or 7 sideline route.
Yes.
6 or 7 yard gain, get him a little closer. But now it's 4th down. Enters 8 seconds. Dropping 2 defenders to the goal line. Make it 3. Looks like they're going to rush 4.
10 seconds. Start on my signal.
Yeah, the big thing here in the Hail Mary situations, which we know from last year in Detroit, just don't let the quarterback run around and give extra receivers time to get into the end zone.
All receivers at the bottom, 3 of them. As Simeon heaves it, and it is knocked down, and the game is over, and the Chargers have held on this time for a much-needed victory. Batted down by Dexter McCoy. That throw was never deep enough. Simeon let go, but maybe a little too early.
Yeah, he probably did. They were going to try to keep him from scrambling too. They spied the quarterback. That was a good thought.
2 long AFC West streaks have been snapped. Denver's road win streak within the division, the all-time record, has come to an end at 15. And San Diego's loss in the division, 10 in a row, has also come to an end with a victory over the Broncos to go to 2-4 on the year.
Let's take a look at this last play. That's McCoy, 6'4".
We're often saying in these situations, why not just go up and bat it down? And he was trying to make that play. Of course, he was outside of the end zone. Right. That ball did not get batted down as much as he tried. If that was in the end zone, there might have been a play on the football.
You know, go just real quick for the game. You know, great job by the Chargers, but it just shows you when you look at Denver, their defense, San Diego trying to run the clock out, just almost impossible. They couldn't do anything offensively to help their defense out there at the end. The Denver defense, except for that long run in the second half, they were tremendous.
Well, good for Mike McCoy. If you're a Charger fan and you've been following this situation, wondering what's going to happen to the coach, well, you've got tonight. You've got to say this guy brought his team in here prepared to take on the defending champions and put forth a great effort.
Good game plan on both sides, especially getting off to the good start, making the Denver Broncos play from behind all night long.
And by the way, these two will tangle again in 17 days up in Denver. As the most relieved man in America. Philip Rivers talked to this team on this short week about trying to let go of all these hard to accept losses. Tried to get the young kids on this team to understand that 1 week can change everybody's attitude. It can send you, who knows, on some sort of streak in the other direction. Tracy, down to you.
Well, I'm with Philip Rivers, and I was watching it that whole time during that fourth quarter, pacing up and down, and then when they recovered the onside kick, what was going through your mind?
Well, I was just afraid. Are we about to find another way? Gosh, it's been so long since we won a division game. We found a way to win. Our defense was awesome. We did enough offensively. We at least kept getting points. We didn't turn it over, but we would like to get some touchdowns there. But winning a division game is big. Now we go to Atlanta, and then we see Denver again in 2 weeks. But gosh, we're going to enjoy this. This will be a heck of a weekend.
Well, you said it. It just takes one win. That's what you told us yesterday. What can this do for your team?
Well, now we got to try to win 2 in a row, and then see if we can string a bunch together. You know, we had some of the worst things happen to us, and some that we caused that I've never seen before. That's put us in this situation. But you saw how hard we fought and hung together, and I know that's the character of this team. Wins like this in the locker room. I was a little teary-eyed in the locker room, seeing the guys and how excited they were, and just thankful to get a chance to run out here and play.
And let's not forget what happened in the first half, where you set the all-time passing record for this franchise. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. I think, you know, a lot of things race through my mind there. There's been a lot of guys contribute to those yards, blocking, catching, and then Dan Fouts, what he means to this organization. Being in his color blue playing makes it even more special. So very thankful.
I can see how emotional you are. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Boy, there is a lot of emotion there, no question. Takes over the record from a Hall of Famer. And he's got a weekend at home, Phil. He gets to now go